At the outset, I would like to thank Dr. Dev Pujari. One thing is very clear. Means I'm his student. He has taught me technology. He has taught me a lot of things. And the beautiful part of Dr. Dev Pujari is he never keeps the things with him. He always shares. And even at this stage, he's very enthusiastic and try to invent lot of things. You can have lot of Dhiren Guptas in this world, but you cannot have means more than one Dev Pujari in this world. I'm not just buttering him. Means of past 20 years I've got association, and probably he is trying to pitch in the gap between is try to bridge in the gap between technology and actual users. That is the beauty. Means there's always lag between the user, clinician, and the person who is in the technology field. So, with this background, I would like to share my experience in COVID 19. And if you allow, I can share some of the slides. And yeah, if you host can able me to participate screen sharing, that will be good. Otherwise, it's fine for me. Yeah. You know, the problem the COVID 19 started around in 2020 in February, in March, fine. And that time we were almost jobless, means because it was limited to adult population, we pediatricians were totally jobless. For 15-20 days, most of the ICUs, not ours, ICUs and the pediatric wards were converted into adult COVID ward. Okay, that was the start. This was a very depressing time. And
Dhiren, your host has been activated, so you can display.
okay, it's still not activated. Can I screen? Can I share my screen? It's not. Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Now it's done. Yeah. So just a minute. Now, so as I told you, we didn't had any pediatric challenge, and pediatric hospitals were converted to the adult one. Then comes May to August. We had MISC. This is a disease of multi-organ inflammatory system. This is some sort of reaction to the COVID. COVID might have happened 2 to 6 weeks back, and now the body is reacting. And this is not only limited to the lungs. In fact, lungs were spared. It was mainly affecting the cardiovascular and gastrointestinal system, and most of them needed intensive care. So first case was difficult to diagnose, but since then we had almost 110 cases, probably the maximum in India. And fortunately, we had only one mortality, and that was also, very unfortunate. He came out, but he had lung fibrosis that lead to problem. Now, following that, I started studying COVIDology. That was in the start of March. Means because we were jobless to start with, I start studying PPE, how to prevent ourselves. Fine. Following that, I gain interest in this virus. This virus is very weird virus. This virus probably knows much more about the human being than we actually know him. Okay. And so I start studying about adult management also. And till date, I have almost managed 2,500 plus adult patients in and online management. And what I found, I totally agree with the previous speaker, except the one thing. I changed all the patients up to 15 days, from day 1 to day 15. And what I found that the management goals which have been described in adults are not correct. They say that if there is a drop in saturation, then you start acting. But in high risk patient, we should prevent this hypoxemia. So I start working on early prevention of the hypoxemia. So paradigm shift changed. Early prevention of this hypoxemia, early recognition of the pointers which can lead to the problem in the adult also. That became my goal. And fortunately, I succeeded. I feel so confident about the management, and I am vouching the government to change the goal. Saturation, if less than 94, is usually late sign, and the patients usually land up in lung fibrosis. That is the major problem, and especially when we talk about high risk adult population, diabetes, obese. Now, following that, I also took part and enthusiastically I tried to teach people around. I trained lot of medical, paramedical, and general public, including students, including college-going students, including teachers, and almost land up in doing 57 webinars on just COVID itself. Lot of publications regarding PPE. There was a challenge in the start, availability of PPE, poor quality PPE. So China gave us virus, good quality virus, but poor quality PPE they provided, and we didn't had any indigenous supply. So that was again a challenge. Non-COVID areas like pediatrics were neglected to start with. And ultimately, our doctors land up in COVID positivity because they were neglected. Everything was directed towards the COVID ward. So, as I told you, I land up in school training for prevention, teachers training. I went to a lot of thanes for police personnel training because they were the neglected field. Some of the corporate training I did for the prevention. All these were preventive measures I advocated. There are some myths in pediatric COVID, like it's always mild. No, means as in adult, it can have multi-system organ involvement, and usually they land up in ICUs. Cannot spread to adults. No, this is again a myth. Normally, what people do whenever there is problem in the family, if adult is suffering from COVID, they will shift their babies to the elderly. That is wrong. In fact, pediatric population can spread the infection as efficiently as an adult to adult. Medications. Now, no medication is in fact needed, whether it's a pediatric, adult, especially ivermectin, zinc, vitamin C, vitamin D, doxycycline, azithromycin, all these are placebos. What works after 7 to 10 days, it's a steroid, sometimes remdesivir and blood thinners. These are the only drugs which are needed even in adult. There are futuristic challenges for pediatric COVID, like when schools are going to open. This should take the last priority, I think, because once you open the school, very difficult to don a patient, a baby, to a mask to them. Even if it is a 10-year-old, and very difficult to discipline this age group. So what they will do, they will catch the infection and they will bring it to home. Their age is safe, but our age is not safe, especially beyond 40 years. Now comes a vaccination. Routine vaccination should not be held. Regarding vaccination, COVID vaccination, again the priority goes to the health worker who are aged, then frontline worker, and then adult and vulnerable population. So this should be the way we should move ahead. So if I conclude for the COVID-19 and pediatric, complications are very rare. No need to monitor by pulse oximetry. Medications are not needed. Even in MISC, that is acute inflammation in COVID, complications are there, but outcome is damn good, and less than 1% mortality is there. So to conclude my presentation is SMS, that is safe distancing. Mask should be used more than 2 years, with shield if possible, if you feel that okay, he is not going to apply the mask. And of course, sanitation, which takes the priority in the families, should be in the background. So main is the mask. If you don't mask properly, you don't need anything. What people do, people will have mask, will apply on the mouth and nose will be free. So the way we put up a mask is wrong. If you start applying proper mask in proper way, we can prevent COVID. And of course, early vaccination, as I told you. And again, thank you very much for the patient hearing. And I thank Dr. Dev Pujari for inviting me to this beautiful forum. And I've seen the gazettes and which they have invented. They are going to be very beneficial as I do home monitoring COVID. And I have found that most of the people, including doctors, are not able to apply pulse oximetry. I think the type of gadgets they have invented, they have demonstrated, are going to help in future. Thank you very much.